Hey, Midnight Sun here. I wanted to point out to all of you guys that in the following videos that I'm going to be doing for the 1 to 70 guide, there is going to be no more altar in the game for you guys to practice if you wanted to practice and follow along with those videos. The reason I did the video with the altar in the previous season active was to try and get as close to what it would be like during the season as possible. However, that's obviously not going to be a complete one-to-one guide. And in terms of you guys practicing right now, you're going to miss out on a lot of the benefits of the altar and the visions. Now, there is some ways that you can utilize that and do that even here right now, which is using a gem of ease if you have one, but you have to get it to rank 120 or rank 25, and that would only work for one item. So this is a level 70 item. If I put a gem of ease in here in the socket slot, it would make it required level 1, so I could equip it on each class if I wanted to. But that's not going to be very good for doing a whole 70 gear item. So again, I'm really sorry about, the videos that I made being kind of a little bit earlier, and it took me a long time to get through the editing with work and schedule and stuff to get them put out. So they are just kind of give you an idea of what it would look like in this season. And with this season being the Soul Shard season, there is a bit of a caveat in those videos. These 1 to 70 guides that I've been showing you guys, I've been utilizing the 1 to 18 method by going through the runes of Sescheron there and getting the cube first and then getting 18 in order to get a gem from each of these bosses over here. And with the next season having a chance to drop a Soul Shard gem from the bosses, it would make the most sense to straight up run Zoltan Kuhl. So just go straight to Zoltan Kuhl and kill him over and over again in the hopes that he drops a Soul Shard. However, I am not sure what level the Soul Shards drop at. I heard they can be dropping at level 1. I don't know if there's an increased likelihood of that happening later on, and I don't know how feasible that's going to be. So I don't know if I run into Zoltan Kuhl and you get lucky and you get the Soul Shard right away. You can scrap that to get a Marquise, I believe, or an Imperial gem, which would satisfy the altar requirements of having a gem above a Flawless Diamond. So you could theoretically go straight there and do that and get the gem, and you would have the Blacksmith leveled up if you're using the cash for the start of the season there, which would allow you to craft level 70 gear straight at level 1. Now, in the 1 to 70 guides that I'm going to be showing you guys here, I do start out at level 1 for each of those things, so it doesn't really matter too much, but could be an option for you guys there if you want to start the season. Again, I'm not sure how reliable that method's going to be. I think most of the classes did it pretty fast, getting to 18 and then going through and getting the gems from the Rift Guardians or the Rift bosses or whatever you call these bounty bosses over there. And then the other reason is that in the 1 to 18 guide, I talked about the items you get from Kadala. And one of the subscribers pointed out that something that I can do is just gamble on a non-seasonal class and it would tell me what item requirement it is there. And I did not think of that at the time. That makes sense. And I recommended saying level 12 for most of the items. It's actually level 16. So it'll be a little bit further along in order to equip those items actually on your character. So keep that in mind if you're trying to follow the guides. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the following videos. Hey, Midnight Sun here. We're back with leveling up, and we're leveling the wizard this time. This is the 1 to 70 or the 18 to 70 if you're following through with the previous guide. I've been gambling again, and I got to Winter Flurry this time relatively early, so I decided to try and gamble for helms, and I managed to get the Leoric's Crown. This is a 99% increase, which is one of the closest to maxes I've ever seen for the Leoric's Crown, so that's great. This should allow us, if we find a red gem, to increase our leveling a little bit further. So this is what I would typically do in the season. I'm not sure if we're going to be using it very much, and you can see that I've already put on all of the items that I would get from the Challenge Rift cache, or all of the materials. I do have to convert one veiled crystal or one yellow item over to get the veiled crystals needed for that. We're going to be upgrading our wand today. And the wizard has some of the worst odds for upgrading any of these items, which is why it can be such a pain to level up. So let's see what we got here. We got lightning damage is increased by 14% for every 10 yards you are from the target, up to a maximum of 40 yards. I hate this item. This is what I got last time I tried to do this as well. It's just one of my least favorites. So I put this offhand here on my character just in case I need to extract this. So with this being, I mean, it is ancient, so at the very least, I get more stats for that. This being the way it is, I'm not going to want to extract that. I will extract this instead So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And put this in here and hit transmute. Now I already have the item extracted from the last time I've done this leveling. So we're going to put that in. And now what I could do is I could put on this crown. Now I don't have any gems, so it doesn't make sense to remove my level 70 thing over here, which is going to give me much more health and damage and everything else. I'm going to salvage all of this stuff. I would typically save 1 or 2 of these yellow items in the beginning just for extracting later on if I need to. So I'll scrap that, and then I'll leave this gem here in case I have enough to extract, I'll salvage that. And I'll leave this here. If I end up running into a death breath level with the elites and I have enough to extract it again, I'll extract this and then I'll find a gem to put in a socketed item. So we're ready to start here. And then one of the nice things about, oh nice, we got a pool of reflection right off the bat.
I have heard troubling news. Another cult has emerged in the shadows.
So, as I was saying here, one of the nice things about the wizard is the Ray of Frost ability here you get right in the beginning is going to activate that Winter Flurry thing. Now, that is going to be something that we're going to go in. I'm going to gain a little bit more levels, though, before going in here and gain some Massacre. That way, I can hopefully get some better items when I go through there, because certain items only drop at certain levels. So I'm hoping that if there is a legendary item that drops in there, I can gain some levels here first. I'm anticipating only going to about level 30 in here with the massacres and killing everything. So not too much higher. And the Wave of Force is going to be absolutely great for when you're surrounded by all of these bugs, because it has a huge range of effect, so I like to use that as well. Most of the guides online don't recommend using it, but in these lower levels it's absolutely great. Oh shoot. Lost my kill streak, but that's fine. And we can see that Wave of Force coming in handy here. And now I'm going to hold down my Ray of Frost because the Frost Nova ability should freeze pretty much everything around me here. Alright, we've gained some Death Breath in here. Wouldn't be enough to extract, I think, because I get about half that. So I'd have to test out the exact amount that I get in here. And since this is an elite level, I am going to full clear the area here. There we go. But I think we would have gotten 6, so plenty to extract stuff if we need it. Alright, we're 41, so we're a little bit higher than we would typically be going through the Temple of the Firstborn. But we're also going to be finding it very difficult to kill a lot of these enemies here in a minute. So we're hoping for a short one here, and we're just kind of looking for the exits. We're not going to be focusing too much of our attention on the elites because they aren't going to be very time efficient. And we still need the portal to the next area. Kill a couple of those. Alright, come on, portal. Spawn in. I do kind of wish that these visions in the elite levels and in the voodoo mask, interesting. In the elite levels and in the Rift Guardian levels, it very obviously telegraphs what enemy is going to have the vision. I kind of wish they would just recolor it and make it like a purple looking enemy or something like that, or glowing green, so that way you could figure out which enemy you need to kill for the next vision. So the goal here is to get about a 100 kill streak, and then we'll stop. We don't mind dropping it in here because we're gonna have to reset the area anyway. So I think I can, okay, there we go. There's the 100. That's another elite level, and this is gonna be an actual hard amount of elites to kill. So I'm gonna hold down Ray of Frost and hope I do some Frost Nova damage to freeze a lot of these enemies and kill them here. So there we got some more Death Breath. Again, we would typically get about half of the amount that's actually shown here. and these elites are going to take a little bit long to kill, which means this is not something that's going to be very time efficient. Now, with the amount of death breath here, maybe it's useful because I could extract more items. If I find a ring here, I could put on a ring. So it is going to be at least somewhat useful. I would only do a small group of enemies in here and then leave, though, because again, this is taking way too long to actually kill everything. And I'm running out of arcane power. So there, I'm going to kill these remaining enemies, and then I'm going to dip out of here. Now, I could come back in here after leaving by going to the enchanting table over here, or the, what do you call it, transmogrify person over here. And I could try and go through and change some of these items a little bit, like familiar damage is something I'm not using, so I could roll that into something else. There's some more health there. Hydra I'm not using, so I could roll that into something else, and there's some more armor, right? So I can kind of sit here and tweak these a little bit to find stuff that I'm actually utilizing, and I wouldn't spend too much time on it, just switching to something that's a little bit more useful here. Disintegrate we're not using, so we could get rid of that. Put on some more vitality. And we actually got a Witch Doctor item over here, so that's kind of interesting considering we just finished leveling the Witch Doctor. And this is Quetzalcoatl, I think, or yeah. So this is Locust Swarm and Haunt, now deal their damage in half the normal duration, which would have been very useful for the Witch Doctor. And it just occurred to me that I never started our timer, which is a shame. I wish I had noticed that earlier. So I'll try and do my best to add in that time back towards the end here. So I'm going to drop down to Torment 2 and come back in. And now we're going to switch some of our abilities. We're going to do Electrocute, Chain Lightning. This Ray of Frost, we could stay. I'm going to go Cold Blood. Frost Nova. We're going to... Let me see here. I'm going to switch this to... Where are you? Storm Armor. Reactive Armor. We're going to throw on a couple of abilities. I'm just going to deal some damage to enemies that are farther away. And I want lightning spells to have a chance to stun targets, since that's what we're going to be using. And I want a little bit of a shield there as well. This we're going to change to... Where are you? Familiar, Spark Flint. And Ice Armor is going to go away for a teleport. Safe Passage. And then Wave of Force now is no longer going to be very useful. So we're going to go ahead and do Magic Weapon. And we're going to do this one over here for some lightning. Okay. So now we're going to be able to activate a lot of these kind of passives here. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 4. And then make my way forward with my teleport. And run into absolutely no enemies. That's amazing. So now I should be able to kind of throw back a lightning and deal a lot of damage to everything behind me. Still no enemies. This map sucks.
Not ready yet. My knowledge increases. I wish I could do that. You dare!
So our Ray of Frost is what we're going to use when we get a lot of enemies around us, and then we're going to use our Electrocute at a distance here for everything else. And again, what we're looking for is about a 400 massacre, and as soon as we get that, we're just gonna get off of it and start another round. The only time we're gonna carry it through forward is if we just so happen to have a lot of enemies nearby to get some more. So here's another vision. Now, typically, once I get over 50, it's when it starts to get harder. I did just drop the difficulty down to Torment 2, which means that this is going to be fine to hop into. I'm just going to try and carry a little bit more of the massacre with me. There we go, we got an elite, but you can see it doesn't take too long to die here. So I'm just going to hold this down and take out this Rift Guardian, not an elite. And with that reduced cost, I should be able to hold down that channeling for quite a while. I would typically get that. Where's the enemy? Okay, we lost our thing because I couldn't find the final enemy in here. There you are. All right, we've got another Rifts or Elite level. Man, I keep mixing up both of those words. So we can already see that they're starting to take a while to die. So again, Ray of Frost is what we're going to be holding down for our main damage here, because it's going to activate a Frost Nova around most of these enemies and stun them, and we're still dealing a decent amount of damage there. There's about 4 Death Breath. We got another level here. We're going to try and gather up as many of them as we can in a close circle. I should be doing fine for health. We froze them with the Season passive here, the Massacre passive, which is a bit of a shame. I don't like it when those get activated. Okay.
Not ready yet.
And this time we managed to make it to the end. So again, when I get a bunch of enemies, I'm going to hold down that Frost Nova. Or not Frost Nova. What is this called? Ray of Frost. And we got to the end this time. We're at 58. So we would leave and come back in. And I'm anticipating 2 more resets to finish off the wizard here. Still probably fine on Torment 2 difficulty. The wizard is one of the ones that I usually have to drop down the most, just because it's very squishy. With that shield ability on us, we should be doing a lot better to survive, especially if you're in hardcore. Now this is Zoltan Cool, so if I were to be leveling up in the Season of Soul Shards, I might stop over here and kill him to see if I get a Soul Shard from it. So that's something to keep in mind for the next season as well. Make sure I'm reactivating my buffs down on the bar there.
I am unstoppable.
Usually some bugs fall right here, so that's why I come over that side.
Still waiting.
Okay, that's gonna throw me off.
You dare attack me?
The wizard is always so arrogant in her dialogue, which is kind of fun to hear sometimes. But eventually I get frustrated with it because I end up dying repeatedly on the wizard, and they get so arrogant that I'm like, dude, shut up.
I am unstoppable.
Alright, we're at a 300 massacre. We're hoping to reach about level 65, 66 if we can by going through here.
Warming up.
We'll start making our way this way and dragging some of those enemies with us. And this electrocute should be doing plenty of damage, so we don't really got to worry about it.
I am so good. I astound myself.
Okay, and play Ring Around the Rosie again.
Still waiting. I become more powerful. Not ready yet. I am returning to town.
Alright, we're going to reset it. Just double checking my items here. I did find some square gems, so I could put that in my helm, which would give me more intelligence, especially if I put on Broken Crown there or switch over to a socket. Reactivate my buffs. And continue moving with my lightning. Was that a diamond there? That could reduce my cooldowns pretty significantly. Hold down frost. So on Torment 2, the wizard's already starting to lose out. It doesn't look like it's able to maintain a lot of its damage. It'll be fine for leveling so long as you got the shield on and you manage to chain everybody together. But after this, we'll probably drop down to a lower difficulty to farm once we hit 70. Okay, we're gonna drag enemies this way again.
Not ready yet.
Okay, we're almost at 300. We're gonna do our best to focus up here. Wow, no enemies in front of us. Good thing we dragged all these guys. Okay, we've got a vision. Again, I typically wouldn't go into it after 50 or 60, depending on where our level is and how long it's taking to kill enemies. If it's taking us a while to kill regular bugs over in this area, then there's no way we're going to be able to do a typical vision. So we're doing great here. We've got our 400 massacre, which is what we want. And it looks like we're going to be trailing along and getting some more here. We're at 500. I'm not sure where I need to go here. Looks like the other side. So I don't think I'll have any enemies to carry it over, but we'll try. I think I need to go up this way.
I astound myself.
Are you kidding?
Nicely done.
Not a single enemy in this entire room. That was rude.
I need to go back.
Alright, well, we got to do it one more time. Why is this giving me a timer? It shouldn't. Okay. So our last time we're leveling through, the wizard isn't doing all that bad, I believe. I think I'm at about like 18 minutes, maybe 19 minutes. Again, I'll have to double check by looking back at the video and adding some time. So at the very end, I'll let you know what the actual time was for the wizard here. Right? Just double checking my items. Now here's where it may be difficult to maintain our current difficulty. We'll see what we're at. Again, the wizard is so frustrating because you don't have a chance of getting any really decent items for leveling. So we can see that we're already losing out on a lot of damage, but we only have a little bit more to do. I'm going to see if I can maintain this here. How's the Ray of Frost doing? Our Ray of Frost is still doing some decent damage now that we've activated our passives, which I forgot about this time. And with this here, maybe a 300 massacre could do it, but again, I always like to push just a little bit further, just in case. So we'll do our best here. Stop for a second. Kill some of these enemies.
You dare attack me?
Come on, bugs.
I become more
Ugh. I don't know what the mechanic is for that and why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it's very annoying. We still might be fine if we get a cursed chest here. Which we do. I don't know if we'll have enough damage to kill everything with this cursed chest, but we'll try.
You dare attack me?
The wizard's definitely looking like it might need to drop to master difficulty for the final 5 levels or so. And then again, that depends on what you guys get for your items. If you got a better leveling setup than I have here, or if you found something that's more useful, or a double modifier for lightning, for example, then we could be doing pretty decent here. Alright. Drag some enemies again. I'm just going to check this out over here. Damage taken is reduced. That's not really what I wanted. Sometimes those give you an XP boost, so that's what I was looking for.
I'm just warming up.
Alright, if we time this well and carry over to the next area, we should be getting about 350 enemies killed. So we'll try that out. Of course, that's all dependent on how the next area looks. Come on, bugs. Alright, we managed to carry them through. This is not the area I was hoping for in here. Maybe we'll get 300. There's 300, and we probably won't get any more, so I'm just going to stop there. Let's see how we got there. We're at 69 and a hair. So we'll go ahead and go to Halls of Agony, Act 3, to try and finish off the rest of that bar there. I think about 100 massacres should do it, so... Just gonna try and gather up a group here for a small massacre and hit him with the Ray of Frost. Start hitting them. Ooh, lost a lot of health there. My game's being a little buggy right now. It doesn't quite want to move how I'm expecting it to. Alright, we don't want to deal with elites right now. That's probably good. I don't think they'll let me back, but I don't mind if they kill me because I can revive in town. And there we go. That's level 70. So we're at about 20 minutes on my timer here. So let me go ahead and figure out how much it was actually here. Okay. And that was leveling up the wizard. We're on our last class next, which is the necromancer. And after doing the necromancer, I'm going to show you guys how to level up without the challenge rift cache, which is a very difficult process. And I highly recommend you guys don't do that because it's going to be pretty frustrating. If you're on a non-hardcore character, it'll be okay because if you die, there's no big deal or reset on it. But if you're doing hardcore, it's going to be a nightmare if you make one mistake. So I'll show you guys some tricks on that. Have a good one. Bye.